College Football 25 is less than a week away, and EA just dropped their first gameplay look when it comes to showing us things that we should expect in the game. We're going to go here and do a deep dive and show you 25 takeaways that we got out of that video. Some are going to be very obvious, and some are going to be our own takes in order to kind of prepare you for what you should expect when you get your hands on the game. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the throw meter, as there are 3 different colors that are associated with it, and each color coincides with a different accuracy level. Now, the blue is going to be the first part of the meter, and it's the majority of the meter, which gives you those safe, accurate passes, and for the most part, that's where you want to have your passes land in order to have success passing. Now, at the end is going to be the red, which is going to give you some inaccurate throws that are going to be off target, and obviously going to be where you want to stay out of. Now, the in-between one is yellow, and that's going to be subject for interpretation because they weren't very clear in the video. The one throw that they had in the video actually showed a perfect pass to where they pass led it away from the receiver. So we are inclined to believe that those are the perfect accuracies, but we're not going to be able to know for sure until we get our hands on the game and be able to verify that that's either going to be a perfect pass or basically a caution area to say you're about to get into the red, make sure you get the ball out of your hands. But time will tell, but definitely a nice addition to college football to have 3 different levels and being able to see where you end up in that in order to get your accuracy that you desire. So the second takeaway is also going to be part of the throwing meter, as we're going to discuss the red portion and how they're dealing with inaccuracies in college football. In Madden, if you threw a red pass, that ball could sail on you, it could be 5-10 yards off target, just didn't pass the eye test. They didn't want that in college football, so what they did is they said if you get a red throw, it's actually going to be called an off-frame throw, and it still could be catchable by your receiver. It's just not going to be something that's going to hit him in stride. It's not going to be something that's going to be able to allow him to turn up the field. They're going to put these special animations that are showing you that he could still get his hands on the ball as the ball is going to be thrown in his catch radius. It's just going to be something that you're going to be more subject to drop passes, more subject to interceptions, and just in general, throws that are not going to lead to probably more yardage after the fact because you missed your accuracy, but definitely a more welcomed addition to what we've been accustomed to in Madden, where the ball just goes ahead and gets nowhere near his target and often leads to interceptions that were widely inaccurate. So the next takeaway is also about pass accuracy and how the weather affects the way you're able to throw the ball. Throwing a wet ball, they said, is going to be a lot harder to do than you would in normal conditions. So keep that in mind as your accuracies may be a little bit off when you do so. So next up is the kick meter. You can see it goes side to side. You want to get it in the green in the middle. Then you want to fill up the arrow to where it gets as much as you can without going to the top where it goes to red. If you hit the red, it basically goes inaccurate. So what you want to do here is make sure that you fill it up as close as you can without hitting the red for the best shot possible. It's definitely going to make kicking much tougher in college football. So next couple of takeaways are going to be about the run game, and the first thing we're going to look at is the run stick responsiveness. As you can see in this clip, the left stick just being able to wiggle back and forth is definitely back. The gameplay seems to be a lot faster. It kind of reminds you of the old generation consoles where you're able to control your player. College football is going to be a run game that is going to be a lot of fun, tough to stop, and you definitely should incorporate it in your offense. So our next takeaway when it comes to the run game is that not only is the left stick something that's going to be juiced up, you're going to see that you're going to have these really nice powerful moves. The spin move looks really, really good in this video. Not only that, you can see the juke move and the ability to get in and out of cuts is nice. The ability to have breakaway speed when your running back is usually the fastest player on the field in college. Then not only that, but be able to get in and out of jukes, use your stiff arm to get people off of you. It's just going to be a lot of fun when it comes to, pounding the ball on the ground and just really get that college feel that we feel that college football just gives differently than Madden in that regard. So you can just see just the way that they put the emphasis on the run game. It's going to be a lot of fun this year. Now, speaking of fun, we're going to go into our next takeaway, which is the option game and how EA installed 3 different pitches when it came to giving you control of what you want to do. You got the quick pitch where you can tap the LB button and basically get the ball out there a little bit more on an arc. Then you've got the strong pitch where if you hold the LB button down, it gets the ball in his hands quicker. And lastly, you're going to have the fake pitch where you're going to basically read the defender and say, I want to go ahead and double tap the LB and it gets the ball in your hands so you can hold it and get some yards that way with your quarterback. So the next takeaway we're going to talk about is the inability for hit sticks to cause fumbles, just like Madden 24. It's a bit concerning, and hopefully it's something that's just isolated in this video, but you're going to see a lot of hit sticks that are landed and not one of them causes a fumble. Now, you could say, these are players that have full fatigue, good ball carrying the whole 9 yards. Absolutely, except for this last example. If you watch here, I circled the player, and it's the running back. If you look at him, we're going to pause the video and see how he's huffing and puffing. He has no energy left whatsoever. And he goes ahead and gets a downhill hit stick straight to the face, and he doesn't fumble. You can see how it basically doesn't do anything. Something to keep an eye on as we play the game. Our next takeaway is that even though these hit sticks weren't causing fumbles, they were still making an impact on the game due to the wear and tear system that's in college football. What this is basically is that the more you get hit as a ball carrier, the more you're used as a ball carrier, you're going to start getting worn down as the game goes on. And these impacts, depending on where you take your hits, affect you. So if you look at Baxter's right leg, he's got -4 speed, -4 change direction, and 6 negative on break tackle because he's got a high impact that he took a blow to that right side of his field as the game went on. If you see these hit sticks, you can see this one actually hit him the left side, but this next one hits him on the right side. And as you see, as the game goes on, he's going to wear down, wear down, and wear down. Now, if you go ahead and try to preserve your player by running back by committee or making sure that you're not, overusing him, that's going to preserve their energy. In fact, Donovan Edwards went ahead and played a game. You can see here on the depth chart. At the end of his game, as he was the workhorse, he had such a negative in his speed, strength, agility, acceleration, break tackle that he wasn't the same running back in the fourth quarter that he was in the first. So this is a really great system for EA to go ahead and allow for you to go and manage your players accordingly to keep them for the entirety of the game and from week to week in Dynasty mode. So the next takeaway, we're going to talk about the wear and tear system a little bit more and how to recover from it. First thing you know is that the toughness rating is what's going to prevent you from getting worn down earlier. And then once you do get worn down, what you're going to see is that it will come back on a play-to-play basis, okay? And then also you're going to get a little bit more when it comes to the quarter break. The most is going to be at halftime, and then if you're in dynasty mode, it's going to be from week to week in case you're kind of more injured. Now, what you want to see is that you can look on your play screen. You can see those guys and kind of see where their wear and tear is. You can see that's low from the arms on those players. And then from the player reticle, you can see that on the right side, what they're telling you is what your fatigue level is before the start of the play. And then as you play the play, it's going to be your stamina bar. And then the left is going to give you the indication that that's where your wear and tear is. So you can see it that way as well. So you can see in this next one, they're in yellow, which means that he's a little bit more worn down than he would have been in green. The next takeaway is talking about where you actually hit the player mattering, not only for wear and tear, but also for the ability to cause fumbles. You can see that the defensive player from Michigan hits the quarterback right in his throwing arm as he's throwing it, causing the fumble that actually gets picked off for 6, but it's actually talking about the location-based tackling that's really making the difference in this instance. So the next takeaway is about pump faking, how EA put the ability for you to kind of hold the outside cornerbacks in a cover 2 situation, where you pump fake him to have him come down and allow him to basically take a false step, throw over his head for the easy completion. So next up, we're going to combine 2 takeaways with the wide receiver hot routes and the custom stem. As you can see right now on the screen, this is the outside hot routes that can be done by any quarterback in the game. If you look on the right side, you got the bang 8, deep cross, deep dig, and triple option, all 4 new routes when it comes to something we hadn't seen in Madden before. And then if you look on the left, you're going to see that there's a speed out, which is going to be great against anyone who wants to play off coverage to get some quick, easy yards. Then when it comes to custom stem, what you're doing is you're able to change the verticality of the route to basically whatever denomination of yards that you want. If you want a post to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27 yards, whatever you want it to go. And then whenever you stop it, you're going to have it break towards the inside in that regard. So it's something that's going to customize your ability to, get people to get cleared out and change your route combinations and basically customize your offense, which is a huge addition that we're seeing here in college football. So now let's talk about the 4 abilities that they introduced in this video this week. The first is going to be Field General, which is a mental ability for a quarterback, and he's going to be able to see pre-snap blitzes and coverage shells. It's not going to be something that's going to happen all the time, but it's definitely going to be something that will help you in that regard, and you can see that that's a gold ability. Now, these are all going to be tiered, so they're going to be a little bit different. This one's a platinum one. This is a physical ability by a defensive end called Platinum Pocket Disruptor. And you can see that he's going to get moderately increased composure gains on the road. We'll talk a little bit about composure later in this video. And then the next one's going to be Road Dog. Now, this is kind of cool because Donovan Edwards played 2 games, and one was at home, one was at road. So when he's on the road, he's going to get this as a mental ability that's going to keep his composure a little bit more as well. You're going to see the gains on what that does affect and how he's able to be a little bit different on the road than he is at home. So kind of interesting. And then he also has takeoff ability, which what you're going to see in this clip is that it gets a moderately quicker release when nobody's basically pressing him. So he gets out of the gate really, really quickly, like a big acceleration on his route, and then he's able to turn it up the field and get the easy yards with this ability. So now let's go ahead and take our attention to the coach's vision, which is that triangle on the bottom right of the screen. And you can see that we can go ahead and take the right stick and flick it up for composure, down for wear and tear, matchups, or blocking. So we're going to talk about composure, which is basically composure and confidence. And what it does is it gives you a 2 type of rating system, which either be hot or cold. Hot is obviously red, cold is blue. And depending on you're playing from play to play, you're going to get your confidence and composure levels to change. If you're a scrambling quarterback that's in the red, you're going to gain a little bit better opportunities to hold on to the ball, while a throwing quarterback is going to have a little bit better accuracy. So when you're in the red, you're going to get your optimal ratings. When in the blue, it's going to be the opposite. So it's real important from a play-to-play, week-to-week, to basically make sure that your players are playing at a high confidence level in order for them to perform at the highest ability possible. Next up, let's talk about Stadium Pulse, which is a huge home field advantage for those top 25 teams. You can see the toughness rate there for Penn State is number 6. And depending on where you are on that meter, you're going to see things like squiggly routes or icons that are missing or just wrong play art that's being displayed. So when you play in those tough stadiums and you basically don't perform the way that you need to, you're going to see how that Stadium Pulse is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, giving the home team that much more of an advantage, and something that you're going to have to overcome. Just gives you that college football atmosphere that you're looking for, where it's going to make it tougher that you're going to be playing at home. Now, before we go ahead and break down the rest of these takeaways, I'd love to invite you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free. We're going to be doing both college football and Madden content all year long, where we go ahead and take deep dives and help you get better at the game. So if that interests you, please hit that subscribe button now. It definitely helps us grow our channel, and we do appreciate all the support that you guys give us. And so now we're back, guys. Let's go ahead and talk about what EA did when it comes to celebrations in college football. It's going to be something that's going to be so much more than you've seen in the past. You should be, you can put the right stick one way or the other. It's like 4 different assignments you can do. Here you've got individual celebrations that you can kind of pick which one you want to do, individualize each player you do, or just have some fun with it. But it's definitely a nice addition to when it comes to getting in the end zone and scoring. So the next takeaway is basically looking at the screen now and looking at the formations that are on there and seeing that EA took a little bit of Madden influence with the Bunch X Nasty and the East X over and put it into college football. So it'd be really interesting to see how much other stuff is going to carry over from Madden and what influence it's going to be, and vice versa. Does Madden end up getting a lot of the college football new designs as well, and really seeing how those can influence each other. Next on our list, what we're going to do is talk about the differences of the way that the college field has wider hash marks and how that affects formations and splits. If you look at the overtop view of this game, you're going to see that this is a trips to the right. It's a halfback weak formation. And you're going to see that outside wide receiver, that he's literally a yard or 2 from the sidelines, right? It's going to be a really nice opportunity to attack the wide side of the field, but trips to the short side of the field is going to be very, very compressed. But if you go ahead and look at a Madden photo when it basically comes to the NFL, you're going to see that it's basically the same exact formation that I've got in the screen right now, and you're going to see how much different it's going to be. You're going to have less to the wide side of the field, but your trips, you're going to have that outside receiver a lot closer to the rest of the receivers and have a lot more room to work. Just the way that you have the hash marks being wider is going to affect the way that you can run certain formations to the short side. And one of those takeaways I wanted to kind of give you guys to kind of think about when you go and try to prepare yourself and picking playbooks for College Football 25. So the next takeaway we want to talk about is that they finally put back in a hurry-up offense, seeing your players run to the line of scrimmage. Because there's different types of hurry-up offense, there's the turbo and regular, it's really nice to see your players get to the line of scrimmage and know how much time you have and basically hike the ball as soon as you can to have a college type of offense. So now let's jump into Turbo, as it's part of the tempo game that EA put in this game, which is going to be a different version, basically a quicker version of No Huddle, but it does come with some limitations. You're only going to have a couple audible options, and you don't have the ability to hot route a receiver. This is, however, going to give you the opportunity to hike the ball before the defense is fully set, which can cause the line to get a little bit slower off the ball, giving you that advantage in the tempo game. Now, it does appear that if you push the LT or the L2 button, you could check with the sidelines. So we may believe that you could slow down your tempo once you get to the line of scrimmage and get more audible options. But as of now, it's going to show you only have 2 options, and then you've got the spike options as well. So it's basically kind of one of those that you can rush the line of scrimmage, check with the coach, and kind of go from there if you want to go fast or you want to slow it down once you get there. So this next takeaway, we're going to show you how quickly you can disguise your coverage. Now, what they've done in this game, they've shown you 2 different ways that you can disguise your coverage. One where it's after you've called the play, and one that you can do basically from the pre-play menu. In this first example, you're going to see a coverage adjustment where they go from a cover 3 to cover 2, keeping the cover 3 coverage, but actually showing a cover 2 look by using the coverage adjustment, quick adjustments. Now, the second way you can do it is you can actually do it pre-play, where you go and you can toggle through. You can say, I want to run a cover 3, but I want to make it look like a cover 4, cover 6, a cover 2 man. And so that way, when you go to the line of scrimmage, it's showing one thing, but you're actually rotating into a different coverage, really keeping your opponent trying to figure out what you're doing. Something that we've been asking for years in football gaming in general, and they finally put it in college football. So for this last takeaway, guys, I want to talk about the sights and sounds of the game and how EA absolutely hit it out of the park when it comes to bringing the college feel to the game and the atmosphere that they have done. I'm going to go ahead and let Donovan Edwards and the EA team show you in this video how it sounds, so you go get it directly from them.
The attention to detail from our presentation team was second to none. You could see it. This Penn State run out is unbelievable. The lighting in the tunnel, to the pom-poms in the crowd.
Donovan, is this pretty accurate?
Very accurate. Very accurate.
I just want to say thank you for everybody that has made it to the end of this video. We do appreciate all your support, and it looks like you guys are just as much fans of the game as we are. And if so, make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button, as it does really go a long way for us when it comes to building our channel. And visit our website at HuddleGG for the best content all year long for both college football and Madden. We appreciate you guys, and we can't wait to see you on the next video.